You slip the pre-punched card into a slot on the totem lathe. Above, the tool arm deploys a configuration of chisels. Now you just need something to lathe. Cursing your lack of foresight, you return to the balcony for the Crux-eyed dowel you left on the pedestal. You navigate the hallway, leery of your mom, who is presently puzzling over the new fixture in her hallway. The perfect crime. You retrieve the Crux-eyed dowel. Mom just shrugs and heads back downstairs, presumably to do some more baking. If only she knew you were hard at work saving her ass. You clamp the Crux-eyed in the lathe. The lathe carves one totem. You take the totem.
Alright, I used the lathe to make this blue shapey thing. Now I guess I take it back to the alchemixer again? Hello?
A young man stands in his bedroom. Due to a violent storm, his house has just lost power, along with his wireless internet connection. This has severed his link to a popular video game he was playing with a young lady at a critical moment. That young lady is relying on this young man to re-establish a connection somehow. This young man named. It's on the tip of your tongue. What was the name of this young man again? Flighty Tool.
No, that wasn't it.
Ross Lalonde.
Yes, that'll do.
Your name is Ross. As was previously mentioned, you are without electricity, although your laptop computer still functions on battery power. You have a variety of interests. You have a passion for rather obscure literature. You enjoy creative writing and are somewhat secretive about it. You have a fondness for the bestially strange and fictitious, and sometimes dabble in psychoanalysis. You also like to knit, and your room is a bit of a mess. And on occasions, if just the right one strikes your fancy, you like to play video games with your friends. What will you do? Ross, retrieve arms from the purple box. The purple package's contents are private. No one is allowed to look inside. It is suggested that you arrive like a flagellum and puke on your bed.
Ugh, what a terrible idea.
The thought alone makes you sick to your stomach. Ross, stroke a writing journal and mutter, "My precious." You would only resort to such an embarrassing activity while no one was watching. These journals are for your eyes only. You catalog your violin, storing it at the root card of your syllabus. You play a haunting refrain on the violin. Approximately 40 seconds playing the violin while your friend is in peril. Nice time management skills there, sweetheart. Since you're good for nothing, your friend is obviously not going to bail you out in time. You issue words of parting fondness to dear, sweet Liv. Oh, if only Affleck could have been the one to make the final sacrifice instead of her stubborn blue-collar salt of the earth father. Then she would fall into your arms for consolation, and you would be the one to make the deceased Bruce Willis proud. Okay, maybe not, but what's wrong with a celebrity lady crush? Ross, catalog knitting supply bag. You get the knitting bag. It occupies the left leaf card under the violin per the tree notice's alphabetical sorting method. K less than B. Your panoramic window offers a view of your yard below and the mausoleum housing your dead cat, Jessie, who died when you were young. Your dad had the structure erected with a spirit of scornful irony in response to your youthfully innocent request to hold a funeral for the animal. At least, that is how you have come to interpret the gesture in retrospect. You can also make out a silhouette of the laboratory next door, a facility which likely broadcasts a strong wireless internet signal. You may be able to connect to the signal from a different part of the house, perhaps if you seek higher ground. Take your laptop and prepare to make the journey through the house. L less than B. L greater than K. This causes the tree to be unbalanced, so your Solidex auto-balances itself. Now the laptop occupies the root card while the other two items comprise the leaves. K less than L, V greater than L. You examine the book on your desk. This book is absolutely indispensable for enthusiasts of your ilk, of which there are few. You take the grimoire. G less than L, G less than K. Hanging just next to your door in the hallway is a painting of an exquisite wizard. Your father collects these awful things ironically. He must know how much you detest them, and there's no doubt in your mind he stores these dreadful things in the house to bother you. Down the hall to the right is also the observatory. Perhaps you will be able to connect from up there? Your father's room is also in that direction. You will have to watch your step. You approach a juncture in the hallway. Beyond the juncture is the observatory. This door leads up to the observatory. You haven't ventured up there in quite some time. The door opens to an exterior walkway leading to the observatory entrance. You've seen less inclement weather before. Oh, the things you'll do to help out a friend. You first put your laptop down on the floor to get it situated, but removing it from the root card causes all the branches and leaves to be severed. Your items are dumped unceremoniously on the floor. You're in a hurry, sure, but that doesn't mean you can't take a moment to peek through the huge telescope. You find a gap in the clouds. It seems a flurry of smaller meteoroids is streaking steadily overhead. You're not sure what this means, but it is somewhat disconcerting. Ross, stack laptop on Grimoire to maximize elevation. You'll need every advantage you can get. There are several signals being broadcasted from the laboratory, each of relatively decent strength. One of them is mysteriously and quite conveniently unsecured, requiring no password. You select the signal and reconnect to the game with Joan.
I'm back.
Hurry up and open my door! Not that it even matters. I think I'm probably dead no matter what.
Patience. You still haven't used the new totem.
Huh?
I believe it will create the item on the punch card.
So what is it? Like an apple or something? What good will that even do?
We'll see. I've found no evidence that anyone has successfully created the item, and the content of the card appears to be variable from session to session. In one instance, it was described as an eggy-looking thing.
Do we have enough of those building jewels to make it?
According to the Athenium, it is a free item. This speaks to its importance in my view. Now, off you go.
There goes the rest of your build grist. You probably should have just done this in the first place. Joan, take totem to the alchemitor. Got to get the stupid blocks out of the way first. The kernel sprite is getting awfully worked up about all this. You store the perfectly generic objects in your Finalia registry, potentially to be deployed at a later time. End of Act 1. Years in the future, but not many. A wayward vagabond records a stuttering step in the sun-bleached dust.